Hi, today I'm going to show you how we can make up some different timeline graphs. Currently in INFOEX, the only graphical reporting is based on a 10-day back from a date that you put in. You choose your operation and a weather plot, and whatever data is in the INFOEX will produce these three different graphs. I'm going to show you a way of, when we're looking into view reports and choose weather obs, setting a date range up to a month and producing a timeline profile, and that will look similar to something like this. So we'll track the height of snowpack, the HN24 from a standard obs. It will have the three different temperatures, max, min and present. So we'll start off back at the INFOEX page where you've logged in, you've pulled up with a search the date range of a month maximum that you want to look at. It could be just a storm that you're trying to track, but it's based out of one observation plot. This, if you've got many weather plots at your operation, you'll have them all listed here, but we can sift and filter that out later. We want to export this data, and it will ask us to either open or save. Both work well. Once that's been produced, which it will nice and quickly, we get a spreadsheet that's got a lot of detail that we're not going to be using a lot of these columns. So we're going to clean up a lot of these. What we want to do is have the headers that are along here matching the ones in the INFOEX, in the ChartMaker Excel sheet. And these are the ones that we're interested in. So the three different temperatures, the new snow, the snowpack, and the actual date of the observation. So going to the one we're going to clean up, we've just dumped all this information out, exported it. If we go right along to the right hand side, we can start to get rid of the columns we're not going to be using. So we can right along to back to Z, we can get rid of, for the snowpack height, we can select those, right click them and choose delete. Same coming along here, we don't need the three other boards. Snow temperatures, relative humidity and surface temperature we don't need. Thermographic trend, thermograph temperature, valley fog, right through to observer we can get rid of. Time and the status, and we can get rid of the actual ID. So we should be left with the obs date, the type of observation, location, the weather plot, and the three temperatures, the height of new snow and the snowpack height. What we're going to do is to make them match. When we cut and paste them into the other one, we need to match these columns. So we need to shift the date column to sit it between the location and max temperature. To create that, we can't just simply drop it over there. We need to create a gap. So if we right click up on the D above max temperature and hit insert, that will produce a column to the left hand side. Then we can select the obs date column by clicking on the A, move the mouse a little bit down and you'll get the four arrows, which means you can drag this now. Click and hold, drag it along and let it go, and that's where we want it. So now we've got all this data, we've got a lot of different weather plots here. We need to sort and filter some of this stuff so we can only look at the one area. We want to select the whole sheet by clicking in the top left corner here, and everything goes blue, it's all selected. And then we'll choose to turn on the filter. We know it's on when all these little drop boxes appear above each column. And what we can do is click on one of those and we get all the options that are contained in that column. We'll turn off the intervals so they'll all disappear. We'll select one, we'll get rid of all the others and we'll just select T2 and top of the 6. And then we can also not only filter, but we can rearrange, so we can sort. So we'll go from oldest to newest with the date, and that'll turn all our data into a sequence that shouldn't match. Now, one thing you might spot is you sometimes might get double entries. So we've got 2 for the 8th here, and they're the same values. What we'll do is we'll select one by going to the left side, right click on the column, sorry, on the row, and we'll just say delete that row. We'll go down and see if there's any other doubles. Now I've got 2/16 here, but the data is a little different, and I'm guessing that perhaps I don't know for sure, but that could have been a typo, and so I'll just change that to the 17th. There's no big consequential data there. If it was a storm cycle, hopefully we would have mapped that really well. So the rest of these dates look pretty good, and now we're ready to cut and paste this data here, the dates and the values for the temperatures and heights of snow, into the template for our charting one. Now we're going to get rid of the old data that was already in the template or the chart maker, and when we come back with our new data, we're going to paste it into this B3 just next to the number 1 here. So we'll go and select this data from our filtered data that we've got from Treble Cone. I'm going to right click to say copy. You can see it's all buzzing that we've selected that. Come back to our chart maker, right click in this box and hit paste. Now if you look, we don't extend down the 31st, doesn't match up with the 31st, and that's because we had a few gaps, and you'll have days where observations were missed, or perhaps it's a place where you only take interval obs. So we've got from the 16th here down. I'm just going to drag that down so it matches the 16th to the 16th, and there's a couple other cleaning ones here. Let's see, that's looking pretty good. So now that we've got the data in here, we can go to the chart tab, and it actually populates this automatically for us. So we can see the long brown bars are showing the height of snow and tracking as it does up a little bit. The light blue being the height of new snow on the 24-hour board, and the 3 different temperatures. The scale and these lines are made on the grid lines are from the temperature scale on the right hand side, and there's an arbitrary sort of scale of height of snowpack here, but I've added in the actual totals on the top of each bar graph so we don't have to read across on the grid lines. You can adjust and reformat the colors and different things that might be needed if you're printing to black and white. It suggests that you type over here, you can put the year, month, and whichever weather plot you're at, so you can identify that. And then it's simply a matter of saving as or printing. You might want to turn it to a PDF for printing, but either way, something that can go on the wall. I've left this scale static so that it won't change, and so you can, from one month to the other, it should be able to be printed off right next to each other, and they should be able to read along. For the height of snow, because it sort of varies a lot more, this I've set to just automatic. So if you're in a plot that averaged more than a couple of 100 centimeters, then this scale will naturally adjust to that. But the temperatures will be set from -12 to +8 for the crucial temperatures. Thanks. Hopefully that's informative. If you've got any queries, this should be covered in the written help file as well.